Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Natalie and this is What? Scientology Life After a Cult, where we talk about Scientology culty news. And today in our Scientology culty recap, we're going to talk about YouTuber Zero Dark Tony has an arrest warrant out. Let's get into that. We're going to talk about Aaron Smith-LEVIN at Growing Up in Scientology shared an interesting history about Zero Dark Tony in Scientology and kind of touched on too, how do you spot a Scientology operative? How do you know who's working for Scientology and not? And does it really matter? We are also today, y'all, going to play a round of What is Scientology? Little game at the end. I thought would be a lot of fun on this Saturday, being that it is Saturday. Welcome everybody in the chat. Oh, I'm trying to turn on my menopause fan with my remote for the lights. That is like, yeah, real grandma move there. Okay. Welcome everybody. Thank you to the moderators for being here, helping out members. I so appreciate you being here, as well as everybody in the live chat. Thank you, everyone. EKS Esky Gal, thank you for being a member for 6 months. That is amazing. Hey, Jorge, welcome. Welcome. Good to see you. I love seeing all your hellos and everybody saying hi to each other in the live chat. Makes me happy. We all need a little bit of happiness. Even Scientology is trying to get a little bit of happiness, in their own way by opening up new Scientology organizations. Now they're claiming, and I say claiming because it is a Scientology press release that we're going to take a look at. And I mean, let's be real, it's a lot of claims. You know what I'm saying? This one is saying that Scientology has opened a new mission. Now in Scientology missions are smaller Scientology organizations. L. Ron Hubbard, praise be to Xenu, said that every Scientology organization, so like San Francisco org or Seattle, they're called class 5 organizations. So say this is one, that each of these organizations, each org should have 10 of these missions, Scientology missions, which are like these little franchises around each individual org. I have never known that to happen. If it did, and any of my former Scientology friends here in the chat, let me know. But I have never seen a Scientology organization with 10 missions around it, like L. Ron Hubbard, praise Xenu, said to do, as stated in the prophecy. Never happened. Like I've just not seen it. Maybe you guys have back in the day, maybe when I was a kid in Scientology and I wasn't aware of it. But Scientology has opened a new mission. And where did they open it? Oregon. People of Oregon, brace yourselves. Let's look at this. McMinnville welcomes a new Scientology mission to its thriving community. A new Cult of Scientology mission celebrates its inauguration in Oregon's heartland. There's even a photo. Look at that grand opening of the new Scientology Ideal Mission of McMinnville. Okay, so being that they're calling it the Ideal Mission, it probably was already open and now they're doing their grand reopening. Because if it's one thing Scientology and leader David Miscavige likes to do, it is to rebrand and change the names of things and make you pay for them again, over and over and over. And these missions now are no different. He's been running this Scientology Ideal Organization scam for quite some time, where everyday Scientologists are being called upon to rack up their credit cards, go into debt, turn over that 401k money. You're not going to need it, to Scientology to buy these buildings, to then renovate them. And then the mother church owns it. And the local organization got to pay rent. Yeah. They do all the fundraising, they get all the money, they do these grand openings, but those local organizations where people, the public, this is something that really angered a lot of Scientologists and still does. Even Scientologists, I'm talking about Scientologists in good standing. Many, I remember when I was still in this human trafficking cult, how many people were upset about this program of we got to pay all this money. And then they find out, wait a minute, we did it because we got tired of forking over cash and donation so the org could pay its rent. You sold us on this idea of we just got to raise this money one time. And then we're going to have this beautiful organization, beautiful building, and we won't have to pay rent. And guess what happened? They're still paying rent. to the mother church. Yeah. So did they really get out of anything? Did it really save them money? No. Who did it benefit though? Scientology up here with a whole real estate portfolio. So in this mission in Oregon here, they've got the usual ribbon. You know, Scientology loves a good ribbon cutting. Interesting thing. I'm going to link this down below. We're not going to read the whole thing, but there's a lot of interesting pieces in here, like who came, who spoke at it, who there in Oregon thinks that it is a good idea to go and support a human trafficking cult. There is a list of people in that article. I'm going to link it down below. And maybe there are people who live locally in Oregon who might feel like, hey, or maybe you don't live locally in Oregon. You're just like, hey, why are you, as the head of the Chamber of Commerce, showing up to a ribbon cutting for an organization that is a human trafficking cult? Multiple people have left and turned whistleblower. I mean, hello, have you heard of the internet? Have you ever Googled Scientology? You really haven't lived till you've Googled Scientology. You got to move past all of the stuff that Scientology puts out. Buckled Up Buttercup says, those ribbons aren't real. Are we making the accusation of fake ribbons, Buckled Up Buttercup? Do you think it was, what do you call it, photoshopped in? Maybe, photoshopped in? Teresa, Natalie, I really appreciate your conversations with Reese. You have a way of showing her some wisdom with your perspective. You're a great friend match for her. I can feel your genuine support of her. Thank you, Teresa. And thank you for that reminder. I did a video last night. Go check it out. You can see it on my channel with Relatable Reese. We talked about her recent trip to Vegas and how what happened in Vegas is not staying in Vegas. She seriously spilled the tea. So go check out that video. It's the last video I did live. That was yesterday. God, yesterday was a crazy busy day for me. I did not end up getting to bed till so late because by the time I actually sat down to eat dinner, it was like 9 o'clock. And then I just needed to have my me time, you know, do my scrolling, catch up on maybe my shows. I fell asleep. I must have dozed off in my recliner. Is that not just the like most boomer statement you've ever heard from a Gen Xer? But you know what? I love a recliner. Sidebar for a minute. Let's put a pin in this whole Scientology thing. I love a recliner. You know what? I am 54 years old. I love a recliner. I have multiple recliners. I really enjoy it. I used to slam recliners. I thought it was an old people thing, and maybe I am just of a certain age now. I don't know. But tell me in the chat, what are your guys' thoughts on recliners? I feel like you're with me on this, but you never know. It is the most comfortable thing ever. It like goes back and the feet come up. It takes the pressure off my lower back. I can even plug in my phone and stuff. I don't even have fancy, like these newer recliners that do so much more. If you are someone who creates and now that I'm thinking about it, Mac Daddy recliners, hit your girl up, Natalie, at Scientology Life After a Cult. No, that's not my email. Hold on. Natalie at lifeafteraCult.com. Natalie at lifeafteracult.com. Right, Jersey Jan? They're a great way to nap. Fairy in the chat. Good morning, Natalie. I love my recliner. Thank you, Shelly. I feel like I'm amongst my people. I don't know why I was a little embarrassed about it. Now, Mock says, comfort is never overrated. Girl, you know it. Rain Virus says, Joe is asleep in his recliner right now. Let's keep it down, okay? Joe is sleeping in the recliner. Isn't it? Aren't they great? Jorge says, I have a recliner and a reclining couch with like 2 reclining seats. Oh, for the win. I just love it. It's the best. Costco, baby. Okay. I'm going to have to keep an eye. I'm getting ready to upgrade my recliner. That is like on my life goals for 2025. Buckled Up Buttercup. I just gave up on the recliner and put a bed in the living room. You know, one of the reasons why I have a couple of recliners is because when my Tony was alive, it was the only spot he could be in. We even have a bed that can go up and down, similar to a recliner in ways, and it wasn't doing it for him. He was most comfortable in a recliner. So that's kind of how we ended up with a couple of them. Thank you, Dr. MLS. I'm glad you like this color. Okay, now, where was I before I got completely distracted onto recliners? I think we just got done talking about the video I did with Reese, Scientology's propaganda about their mission. Now, let's go to Kansas City, Missouri. If you joined me yesterday here on Scientology Live After a Call, we talked about the Winter Wonderland that's opening in Kansas City, Missouri. They do it every year. And many of you are familiar with the Winter Wonderland, or as some call it, Winter Blunderland, happening in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, Scientology's Winter Wonderland, that is right next to their Hollywood testing center. And it's a big flop. Nobody's going, not much is happening. It's pretty much been shut down since last year when Scientology Audit Streets LA and many other live streamers and protesters went out and protested in front of the testing center and in front of Winter Wonderland. And this year, it's just like nothing's happening except shenanigans. Lots of shenanigans have been happening, that is for sure. Well, in Kansas City, they have their own Winter Wonderland that they've been doing for a few years. We talked about it yesterday. It was the opening yesterday. Let's take a look, because of course it opened to big fanfare and lots of people, because there's millions of Scientologists. So if just the Scientologists in the Kansas City area came out for this, you know, right? It's going to be busy and bustling. Was it? I do not believe that it was. Now, let's see. This is from Auditing Scientology KC. That's Auditing Scientology Kansas City. Mike has been out there, and he and Z News has been out there. You can usually catch them Thursday. They're often there, but they're often there on other days as well. So Auditing Scientology went out there to this to take a peek at the big opening and see what happened. So let's see here. Let's take a look.
20 minutes before that happens.
Now, as you can see here, there is a giant play structure that you see there, right? That is the same play structure, it would appear. It is being reported that is at the school that Scientologist Dan O'Connor, who allegedly threw a fax machine at Relatable Reese when she was a teenager and she had to go to the hospital, that Dan O'Connor runs. So it looks like they just bring the big play thing over. That's kind of what it looks like there. And I got to tell you, it really doesn't seem like a lot is happening, especially on the big opening. Let's watch more here. Yep, still nothing happening. No, it's going to come. So the floods of people. Anytime now. They're bringing out some big wood piece. The crowds, the millions of Scientologists are coming. I know it, you guys. Hold out. Nope. It would appear that nobody was there. Now, there were a couple people there who showed up. Let's take a look at some more footage of this here from Auditing Scientology Kansas City. Now, if you guys aren't already following Auditing Scientology and Z News, you're kind of missing out. Kansas City has so many characters that have been unlocked over the last year. You've got, oh my God, I just went blank. Not Jerry. Y'all remember the Not Jerry incident when I went to Kansas City to protest and meet some of the protesters out there. Not Jerry with the guy I thought was Jerry. So I'm like, hey, Jerry, we're here. If you want to leave Scientology, Google Scientology. You know, I was being all aloha. You know what I mean? You guys know how I roll. Jerry whipped open the org door, stuck his head out, and yelled at me to go F myself. Not aloha at all. But we know that Not Jerry, and okay, it turns out that his name was Not Jerry, which is why his name is now Not Jerry. He is probably under a lot of stress. You know what I'm saying? So we've got Not Jerry there. There's Lower Conditions Larry, who is the estates person who in charge of going out and cleaning up the sidewalks and scrubbing the building and doing all those things. Because we don't know, is he doing lower conditions in Scientology, which are these steps you have to do when you get in trouble? So there's Lower Conditions Larry. There's also OSA Matt, Office of Special Affairs Matt. Now, a year ago, OSA Matt made a very interesting comment to somebody who was out there live streaming and said that Scientology is dangerous. Well, OSA Matt showed up again this year, and he didn't seem to have a message. He didn't seem to have a Christmas message like last year. OSA Matt's holiday message was, Scientology is dangerous. This year, I mean, I didn't see it. I didn't. Ooh, look at me trying to pull Nancy up on the screen. Girl, good thing your camera was off. I haven't done that since week 1 of being on YouTube. If you guys remember, if you know, you know, there was one show where I accidentally brought up Nancy and she was not ready for it. And it was hilarious, wasn't it, Nancy? And I only did it the one time. And ever since then, Nancy now makes sure her camera's off in case I have a little finger flub. Okay, so let's go see what the holiday was. There a holiday message from Osamat, one of the many characters in Kansas City that have been unlocked. Here he comes.
Matt, how you doing this year?
The gentleman with the camera there, I do believe, is the one that Matt last year said Scientology is dangerous. That it was to him.
I was going to say, hey, I got a video I wanted to show you.
He's got nothing to say. He's just crossing the street to the Winter Wonderland. So this is, you can see it's like kitty corner from the Scientology building. It's like right there. This is their parking lot where they normally park, where they're normally putting their cars and heading off to do their staff thing in Scientology. Now let's see here. I think we've got another look at Winter Wonderland there in Kansas City, Missouri. Let's see here. Malta, thank you so much for being a member of Scientology Life After a Cult for a month. I appreciate it. There's a link down below in this video, and you can click join memberships on my channel as well if you're interested. They start at $4.99. We do a members only live stream weekly. Ooh, which reminds me, I will do a post about this. Our members only live stream, we normally do it Tuesdays around 4 Central. We're going to do it the next couple of weeks with the holidays on Thursday. At least that's what I'm thinking. Probably still at 4 p.m. Central, but I will put a post up about that to remind you all. But I truly appreciate it. Memberships do really help with the channel. Now let's see. We're talking Kansas City. We're talking big event, big community event.
Yeah, they have.
Maybe that's why
they have kind of a vague notion that maybe there's a creator, but it's not really part of their religion.
Mike was having an interesting conversation about whether or not Scientology believes in God, a higher power. We're going to actually talk about that when we get into our segment of What is Scientology, where y'all are going to play along. Just wait for it. So again, not a lot happening. We've got Scientologists there. Is that guy holding a camera bag? Does it look like he's just waiting to take some pictures? Just not a lot happening. Now, you know what? It was the middle of the day. Maybe it got busier later. Well, based on previous footage covering this event in Kansas City, Scientology's Winter Wonderland, no, it's usually mostly just Scientologists who show up. There was a news story I shared yesterday where even the news channel was like, yeah, pretty much everybody here are Scientologists, and there aren't that many people. Rain Virus says that playset on concrete and not secured is sketch AF. Exactly. Because how do you do that? You're going to get on the swing set and, just start going, and then it's like the front's going to come up. I mean, this is how I'm imagining it going down. I'm hoping that hopefully some other people, if they have time this weekend, or this will be going until Christmas. I don't know if it's through Christmas Day. Scientology's thing said the 25th. And, it would be like Scientology to make people work on Christmas doing this when nobody really wants to come. It's just like Scientology to provide a community service that nobody has asked for. Like their Way to Happiness booklets. They got a whole Way to Happiness tent. It looked like one of the biggest structures in their Winter Wonderland with a Way to Happiness tent, and on the back are all the precepts. Don't steal, don't lie. It even had something in there about honoring your parents, which I always found interesting as a Scientologist, given the disconnection policy. Honor and respect your parents. Unless they disagree with Scientology, then F those people. Push them to the side like yesterday's trash. Not a Way to Happiness, and definitely not Aloha. Okie dokie. Now you got me thinking, Rain Virus, all about that swing. That is such a good point. Let's now, wanted to bring your attention here to Pup Groomer. Pup Groomer did a community post here on YouTube. New flyers added. So it looks like she does flyers. There's a link to multiple flyers if you want to do flyers or flyer tech, but you don't want to maybe design it. She included a link where anyone can go and download. This is one of them. You are loved. We protest the cults. #Stop Scientology. So that will be linked down below as well in case anybody needs some flyers and wants to check that out. It's awesome she did that. I love people with an eye for that kind of thing. I don't feel like I completely have that. You know, I get by. I know my way around Canva, but I am by no means a graphic artist. I know that might be shocking to many of you, given my thumbnails. Oh, Bad Thetan says they don't believe in Christmas, so it really means nothing to them. So just another excuse to work their people to death. I'm feeling that. Yes, absolutely. Pause for Andrea to help spread holiday cheer. Jeff at PTS for Life posted a free digital card on his community page. It's an adorable Santa gnome. I saw it right before Natalie started her stream. Oh, that's awesome, Andrea. Yeah, so go check out Jeff at PTS for Life after this. Very cool. Mock says, do they mean blindly obey instead of honoring so that they can indoctrinate the children? Yeah, pretty much. I learned a long time ago that Scientology says one thing, but they mean something else. They really do. They really do. Jen Cass, yes, I did. Thank you so much. Jen made this beautiful, sent me this beautiful, it's like a light and it says love. The song may have ended, but what does it say? But the melody will live on. The song may have ended, but the melody will live on. And it's got photos of me and my Tony. I love it so much, Jen. Thank you. And it fits right back there. So it was like perfect. It was perfect. I left it on all last night and I stayed up way too late, like I said. But every time I walked by my office, it was the only light on and it just looks really pretty with it. And I can see it and it makes me happy. So thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, rain virus too. I love the photo of my Tony in the O. Yeah. Wow. You can see it really well then. Yeah. It's fantastic. Okay. Now let's talk about one thing we touched on yesterday too was Danny Masterson, Scientologist in good standing. Danny Masterson is appealing his conviction as he sits in prison. And there is a video. We're just going to share a clip, but excuse me. Was I going to sneeze? Oh my gosh. Did I forget my allergy meds again? I think I did. Nancy, you forgot to remind me. She's almost always, allergy meds? Where's your water? Yeah, I did forget. I am allergic to my daughter's dog who lives downstairs, but the fur and stuff still kind of gets around. So I have to take my allergy meds all the time. Mock, yes. So Tony's spirit is hanging with the body Thetans. I love that. Right back there. Right back there. Okay, so this whole Danny Masterson thing. Aaron at Growing Up in Scientology did a video about kind of the really obvious lie in this. We're going to look at a clip, but you really got to go watch the whole video because he breaks it down. I want to put this on your radar and make sure you know about it.
In Danny Masterson's appeal brief. And I got to tell you, the claims made by Danny and his team in this appeal brief about the Jane Does, for some reason, is being picked up and amplified and signal boosted by the media. And they are not picking up on what is wrong with the claims and that they are easily, demonstrably false and inflammatory. This appeal has absolutely no chance of getting approved. I'm just going to call it right now. Now, that might be an easy call. Most appeals have very little chance of getting approved. But the fact that they're leaning so heavily on an easily provably false argument that the Jane Does had an undisclosed financial motivation to relentlessly pursue a criminal conviction against Danny Masterson.
It's really interesting. He really lays it out. So you got to watch really the whole thing. And I just couldn't help but think it must be some type of, what do you call it? Is it football, a Hail Mary pass, like this is like your last shot, just go for it. Is that basketball? No, that's football. Pass. Although you pass the ball in basketball. Might shock you guys. I don't know a lot about sports, not huge on it. In high school, the couple of years that I was there before I dropped out to join Scientology staff, I did play volleyball and a little bit of basketball. I actually, you know what? I'm going to share this story. Just don't tell anybody, okay, you guys? This is just between us. When I was in middle school, I think it was middle school. It could have been high school. You know, it was high school. I did join the basketball team because I was the tall girl. Yep, at my height, not any taller than I am right now. I do believe I'm just under 5'6", but I grew up in Hawaii. So of course I was the tall girl. And I started playing basketball, and I got cut from the team because I was too aggressive. And at the time, I didn't completely understand what they meant. I mean, I did. I was too aggressive in getting the ball, and I think physically aggressive. And it was a long, long, long time before I realized why that probably was, because in my nature, I'm not a very like aggressive person. I can be, like, don't get it twisted. But in Scientology, we do these training routines, as you all know, and a few of them involve physically handling people. You do them over and over and over again for hours. So you really kind of don't have a button anymore on pushing people out of the way and stuff like that, because you do it over and over and over again. Because, you know, you got to be trained, because if you're auditing someone in Scientology, even if you're a kid, and they try to take off, boom, you need to get over there and like check them and get them back in that seat. An auditor cannot let a pre-clear end a session on their own determinism. That is Scientology like rules there. And so I think at that time, how I would physically handle myself, or when I was playing a sport and that adrenaline would kick in, I would be kind of aggressive because of my training in Scientology, and I wasn't separating those things out. And I did it, like I said, it took me many, many years to understand why is that? Because it didn't indicate to me that I'm aggressive. Like, what do you mean I'm aggressive? I'm the least aggressive person, and not the least, but in that school where I was. And now I understand it so much more. So I just, side note there, that was very interesting. We'll have to file that away in SPTV trivia when we play that later. Who got cut from their high school basketball team for being too aggressive? No one will guess it was me, except all of you who now know. But shh, it's between us, okay? It's between us. I better not see you talking about it someplace else. Bad Thayton says, if time is running out and you try to make the shot before the buzzer. Oh, okay, that's a Hail Mary. So more in just football. And throw up a Hail Mary. Got it. Okay. Interesting. That's good to know. Good to know. Old Fritz says, Natalie, rugby, tackling little Hawaiians on the basketball pitch. Did you do that? I'm surprised that you could tackle. Well, depends though. Depends. I know a lot of my Samoan friends who played football and all those sports. Now they were aggressive. Jen, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. Malta, I want to make sure, because I'm like brain fogging big time right here with the menopause brain fog, that if I said thank you or not for being a member for 1 month, but thank you indeed. Indeed. Okay, let's see. Moving on. Let's take a look. Let's get into this YouTuber who now has an arrest warrant out. Now, I am familiar with Zero Dark Tony. That is the person who has the arrest warrant. He has a history of harassing and name calling and basically just being kind of low vibe. I've not seen a ton of his content. I've seen some of it, and then I'm like all of you. I consume YouTube content. And I too make a choice of the content that I want to view or I want to expose myself to. And after seeing a few things, I was like, yeah, that's just not my vibe. Do your thing, but you know, just not for me. I don't like exposing myself to just constant negativity. I think that there's so many topics and things you can cover. Well, anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. So I've not followed in great detail a lot of this man's drama. I do know this though. I do know the bullying that he did to Nora is unexcusable. The bullying that he did to Solomon is unexcusable. The bullying that he did to, the list is very long. He even came at me once or twice. And, but you know, I don't engage in that stuff. And so here's the deal though. The guy now has an arrest warrant. So let's take a look at this and start chatting about this. Scientology Audit Streets LA shared this yesterday. Warrant for ZDT, and that's Zero Dark Tony's arrest. He's facing a couple decades in jail for 26 charges. Counts include stalking, willful cruelty to a child, and violating the restraining order. So Solomon is someone who's been live streaming and protesting Scientology in Los Angeles with Streets LA and others. And he just, Zero Dark Tony thought that this was a good idea to go after this kid because he is underage. Solomon and his mom get this restraining order, and Zero Dark Tony violates it over and over and over again. And now he is up on some really serious charges. Mock says, dude screeches, overcompensating. Yeah, that would be hard. That would just be hard for me to watch, which is probably why. The couple videos I did see, I knew I had to put them on 2 times speed just to, you know, I like a pace. All right. But like I said, the biggest thing that always stood out to me was just the way that he went after Nora, which was disgusting and vile. And so many other people, like, why? I mean, it's a huge list, and we're going to get into that in a little bit. So Scientology Audit Streets LA shares that. And here, by the way, this is Solomon's channel. The young man who's been on the receiving end of this from Zero Dark Tony, Solomon Sassoon. You can see his channel here at Solomon Streets. So check him out. Now let's take a look at a clip from, again, this is yesterday. Aaron was talking about this case. Let's take a peek.
So for a hot minute, 20, 30 years ago, he was doing some low-level Scientology courses at the Celebrity Center.
So now he's talking about, like, who is Anthony Diamato? Is it Diamato? Who is Zero Dark Tony? What is his background? Was he a former Scientologist? Like, what was the deal? Like, a lot of people were wondering about this, and he gets into it.
Never really did anything further than very basic introductory courses. And all of a sudden, I forget how long ago, was it a year and a half ago? Was it 2 years ago? All of a sudden he popped up on Twitter, making a little bit of noise in the former Scientology world. And so I brought him on to one of my Friday night panels. It's either Friday night or Monday night or something. I don't know, Saturday night, where I would, me and 3 other people, and we would just chew the fat and shoot the shit about Scientology stuff and learn a little bit about each other. And that was the only video that I ever did with Tony. So it was probably a couple hours one night a couple years ago. And ever since then, he sort of percolated for a few weeks, getting friendly with some people. And then all of a sudden, just I don't know, maybe he's got multiple personality disorder. I don't know. All of a sudden he just flipped like a switch and just started full on every single day, multi-hour attacks against every single person in the SPTV universe. Every single person on YouTube who does Scientology content. And of course, that by Scientology content, anti-Scientology content, because there's actually nobody on YouTube that does Scientology content, pro-Scientology content. And you figured maybe he'd just get bored of it after a while. And it's like, it's so weird that he's just never, ever, ever stopped. Now, I actually stopped watching any of his stuff a long time ago because it just got so boring. For a while, it was like he was like the most exciting thing going on. It was such a scandal. He was threatening to do all sorts of this stuff, and he just never, at the end of the day, had anything good. He just...
Yep. And as Marilyn shared, they issued his warrant on my birthday. Marilyn's another one who he has gone after. I mean, I'm not sure that there's a creator in this community and beyond who exposes Scientology that he's not gone after, which is kind of sus right there. That it's the one thing, like, people will have personality conflicts and not get along. That's one thing. But on a daily basis, dedicating so much of your energy and your life and your time to trying to tear down people as individuals, especially people in this genre where you're dealing with exposing Scientology and really sensitive subjects and people even who are victims of Scientology, and so many people who've been helping to expose it, who've never been in Scientology, have been victims of them. So it's not just been former Scientologists. It's been he seems to have a taste for people who like to expose human trafficking cults, mainly Scientology. Let's see here. Now, let's take a look at this here, because this was interesting too. A little bit more background and look into this.
A Scientology agent.
Because people were have asked, is Zero Dark Tony a Scientology agent? Does he work for the Office of Special Affairs? Valid question. Let's take a look at this clip about that.
There is no other explanation I can come up with for why Tony does what he does, other than the fact that he's somehow working for Scientology. Now you might go, Aaron, Scientology would never willingly do business with someone as crazy and stupid and careless and reckless as Zero Dark Tony. And I would say, oh, yes, they would. Okay. Scientology's not hiring the best and the brightest.
And this is so true and a key thing to keep in mind.
Some, I'm sure, are good people, okay? But most of them are bottom of the barrel, okay? And look no further than a private investigator that Scientology hired. This is all documented in, court records, testimony and stuff. Scientology hired a PI to follow people, hack people's emails in the anti-Scientology space. This PI was such a scumbag. What he ended up going to prison for wasn't the stuff he did for Scientology. It was for raping a woman he had been hired to investigate.
These are the type of people that Scientology chooses to work with to try to harass, discredit, and just irritate to the point of going away is the hope. That is the whole idea. It does fit that narrative. It does fit what we've seen Scientology do multiple times. And we've even read on this channel, and I know Aaron shared it on his channel, the actual Office of Special Affairs. We're a little quiet because it is Saturday. David Miscavige, he's in a new spot now because I wanted to make room for I didn't want him near my love sign and my body Satan. So he now is over there. David Miscavige, wake up your people. We're a little more kinder on Saturdays because sometimes they get to sleep in. Office of Special Affairs. Are you following this? Are you seeing what's happening? Oh my gosh. There is now an arrest warrant for this man, and it is highly suspect. And I think, it definitely a lot of points in the column of he's doing Scientology's dirty work. Whether they're paying him or not is a question. Does he know he's doing it or not? I don't know. But many things point to, like Aaron said, there's not a reasonable, rational explanation to explain the things that he's done, the lengths to which he has gone to try to silence people who speak out against Scientology. One of the ways that Scientology lend the Office of Special Affairs tries to do that is to basically push the person's buttons so much and get them so upset that they just quit. That is a Scientology tactic. And they do it, one, because that's what L. Ron Hubbard said to do. Second, because they have had some degree of success with it. Some people are immune to that. We just don't care. Sticks and stones. Okay, you're saying that. Okay. All right. I'm a grown-ass woman over here living my own life. So things that if Scientology wants to discredit people who are sharing their experience about Scientology, they're going to try to do that in a multitude of ways. And sometimes it's by spreading rumors, misinformation about people exposing Scientology in chats, in emails. I've seen some crazy stuff. And this does seem to be the brand of what this guy's channel was about, of doing that over and over and over again. And what he did is disgusting. And it did cause real pain and damage to individuals and to people. And it's not okay. And so I look at this and I'm like, this sounds like a good thing to get this man off the streets. He just seems to be this like bucket of anger and upset. And I don't know what to call it. Don't know what to call it. Asen says, look at the glee on Aaron's face. Gotta love that. Yeah. Yeah, old Fritz. Look at Aaron's beaming face. I think he was very excited about that. Very excited about that. Evil Blue Eye, look what happened with Wendell. Oh, the unhoused man who was harassing the protesters. That Wendell, boy, there's a name. There's a blast from the past. Absolutely. James Steele, just like, no, vomiting in his mouth there. Can't take it. Can't take it. Hey, Church of Satiretology. Seal Bill says, I am so thrilled about this warrant. Christmas came early. And it came on Marilyn Honig's birthday, which is amazing. Buttercup 49, happy birthday to all their recent birthdays. Yes, that's true. There have been. Marilyn's birthday. Who else is? Did I miss somebody's birthday? Was there somebody else's birthday? I know we celebrated Marilyn's the other day. Let me know if we did, because I love doing happy birthdays. Let's see. Hammock Lady, what happened to the SPTV website, not the foundation one? There is only the foundation one, so I'm not sure which website you mean specifically, but you can email me, Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com, and if you have a follow-up question to that. But I'm not aware of another website beyond the foundation website. Let's see. James Still, I hadn't hit like, but have now. Sorry, Natalie and mods, I'm going in my corner. Thank you for the reminder, James Steele. Hit that like button, y'all. Asen says bullying and harassing is wrong in general, but when you do that to a minor with stuff no kid should hear, yeah, exactly. Solomon is a minor, has been a minor. It is so strange and weird to me that that's the person you pick. Like, you're not well. You're not well. It's weird. Kelly's birthday is coming. Kelly Copters. Kelly, when's your birthday? We definitely don't want to miss that. We don't want to miss that. Okay, now let's look at another clip from this, going over like, all right, what are these charges? What are we talking about?
This is Solomon, one of the Scientology protesters out in LA. Solomon, for some reason, Tony decided to set his sights on Solomon, and day after day after day after day, not only did some of the most disgusting, I won't even try to put into words other than horrifically disgusting videos day after day after day about this this minor boy, but did the same thing to his parents, would show up where he was in the real world. Restraining orders were issued. He violated them time after time after time again.
I mean, just like, you know, you have a restraining order and violating it again and again and again. I just don't understand it. I don't think, let's go with the hypothetical that, okay, he is working for Scientology. Scientology is not going to, I don't think they're going to help him. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Oh, that's right. Kelly's birthday was November 21st. That's right. And we did celebrate it. I'm remembering now. Thank you for that. Happy birthday to Gina Marie Torino. Happy birthday to you. Much aloha. I didn't miss it, Anna Marie. We did celebrate it that day. I do remember. But I did forget that it already happened. It was November 21st. Okay, so lot going on. I think this is interesting. I don't know when he's going to be arrested, where he's going to be arrested. What do you guys think? Tell me in the live chat, when and where, or better yet, how do you fantasize it happening? And if you're on replay, jump at those comments and let me know. Let me know. Wow. Cubana Chica. I remember Nora saying she lost a potential job because of him. There's no excuse for stuff like that. It's like, I don't understand that type of behavior. It just seems like, I don't know. I can think of a million other ways, better ways to spend my time. Let's see. Yep. Gina. Yes. I'm glad you're getting all the birthday love there. Does it matter to you? Not to me. Do we have a streamer that has an in with the LAPD so we can get his arrest on stream? I don't know, but I'm sure people are looking, especially Scientology Audit Streets LA. That'd be fantastic if him and Solomon could be together. How great would that be? How great would that be? Old Fritz says, don't know if he'll get locked up, though. That's true. We'll have to see how it plays out. Bad Thayton says, I celebrated the 21st anniversary of my 21st birthday earlier this month. Well, Bad Thayton, happy earlier birthday to you as well. I do the same, but I tend to celebrate my 29th. Asen, that's right. William knows where ZDT lives. Yes, absolutely. Hermie, glad you made it. Aloha. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. YRB says, I think the next time he has to do a video chat, the court will require knowledge of the location and there will be a knock at the door. Yeah. I know we're going to hear about it. I know we're going to hear about it, and I know we're going to talk about it. Keep your thoughts coming on that. We'll go ahead and, we'll pull up, I'll grab more comments as we move on to a little game I like to call What is Scientology? And y'all are going to play along. And if you are on the replay, please jump into those comments, because I want to know what your thoughts are here, what your thoughts are. All right, we are going to use the official Scientology website. Hold on, you guys. Let me get this pulled up. I want you to answer in the chat because you guys are going to be guessing the answers to these Scientology questions. We're going to play off of their FAQ page. Let's set the mood. Okay, welcome to What is Scientology? Frequently asked questions. Everybody at home, in the chat, and on the replay, I want you to throw in your answers and we will look at what Scientology's answer actually is. First question, under Scientology beliefs, what does Scientology believe? Does Scientology have a concept of God? Again, the question that is up is, does Scientology have a concept of God? Put your answers in the chat. On the replay, Robin Miner says it's a POS money grubbing organization. Jersey Jan is saying no God. Theo Bill, the eighth dynamic. No. Astrid says no. Nisa says I don't think so. Mike's like no. Cubana Chica is like, Xenu is our deity. Andrea, no. This is a great answer. Oak Tree Lady, only when convenient. Okay, well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at what Scientology themselves say when we ask, does Scientology have a concept of God? This is a very long answer, but I'm going to give you the gist of it, which is that Scientology believes that there is a supreme being, is what they call it, the eighth dynamic, which is one of 8 urges towards existence. And this is the urge toward existence as infinity. And you might be saying, Natalie, what in the world does that mean? And I'm here to tell you. Nobody really knows in Scientology. It's just this thing. We were always like, okay, there's God, there's not a God, there is a God, there's not a God, there's an eighth dynamic, but we don't pray, we don't worship, but there's a supreme being. What does the supreme being do? I don't know. All kinds of questions. So Scientologists themselves have been confused about this for years. Why? Because it's BS. There is no practice in Scientology that works to improve your relationship with the supreme being, as they call it. It's like the discarded dynamic. It's the Cinderella of the dynamics in Scientology. It's like there kind of to do some work, but not really be a main part of the sitch. You know what I'm saying? So that is the answer there. That is the answer. And Shelley, yes, their God is named Khan. Okay, thank you, Susan Goo Grandma, for the reminder. Be sure to head over and hit that like button, y'all. Hit that subscribe. Okay, let's do another one here on What is Scientology? Get ready in the chat, on the replay, jump in the comments. Let's answer the question. Does Scientology believe man is sinful? Tell me what you think. Does Scientology think man is sinful? With everything we've learned, we've heard about Scientology, the amount of punishments that they dole out, right? How, as Scientologists, we are interrogated and security checked within an inch of our lives. People like Jenna Miscavige, the niece of Scientology leader and dictator David Miscavige, was security checked and interrogated from the age of 12, 4 years, because she was such an evil POS in their eyes. The same Jenna Miscavige who makes cookies for people and brings us joy on her channel, sharing her story, shedding light on Scientology. So what do we think? Evil Blue Eye, sin is also man-made. Lorraine says, yep, yes. Vanessa Winbury, that man is basically good. Okay, let's take a look at what Scientology says their belief is when it comes to, does Scientology believe man is sinful? Remember, keeping in mind all of the ways Scientology has to punish Scientologists. Physical punishment, the Rehabilitation Project Force, making kids audit adults and hear all about their sex stuff that they don't want to hear at all. I was one of those. We did not want to hear it. I was a teenager having to handle men on their masturbation habits while they were getting Scientology auditing. I was not there for that. So, Scientology in a nutshell. Vanessa had it right. Here's their claim. A fundamental tenet of Scientology is that man is basically good, that he is seeking to survive, and his survival depends on himself and upon his fellows and his attainment of brotherhood with the universe. Really, brotherhood with the universe. You don't say. Here's the catch. However, his experiences in the physical universe through many lifetimes had led him into evil, where he has committed harmful acts or sins, causing him to become aberrated, departing from rational thought or behavior. These harmful acts reduce man's awareness and innate goodness as a spiritual being. So Scientology says man is basically good. And then at the same time says man has been doing all kinds of crap for a long time and they cannot be trusted. That's why we have to security check them. I think you kind of get the gist here, and you can see there seems to be a theme here about this, right? About them saying one thing, doing another thing, claiming what their beliefs are, yet operating in a way that is not in alignment with those beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Professor Furberger says Jenna definitely shares her joy, sometimes despite the subject matter. I would agree with that. Susan Good Grandma. Thank you, Susan, for being a member for 9 months. She says, I absolutely love this. I am so glad. Does it matter to you? Not to me. Says, I won't claim the win. Yeah, Buttercup 49, hypocrite. That is kind of the thing. Mock, it's very Scientology confusing. Yes. As a Scientologist, a former Scientologist, when I was in this cult for 35 years with 3 generations of my family, 4, if you count who? Grandpa Dad. That's right. Grandpa Dad. Everybody drinks. Zeno Marlene, Grandpa Dad. This is coffee. Whatever you got. When my mom married my grandpa, who became Grandpa Dad, it's like 4 generations, but I still always claim 3 because I just count for my mom, because I kind of want to pretend the whole Grandpa Dad thing just did not ever happen. So despite that, right, multiple generations of people in Scientology saying what they really believe, the truth is getting out through multiple people sharing their stories, writing books, multiple people on different social media platforms, exposing it, people who are out there protesting and live streaming Scientology. Everything everybody is doing is helping to expose Scientology. And I thank you for that. I personally have an immense amount of gratitude for all of you who are doing that. For all of you who show up to watch my videos, like, subscribe, and share them helps to get that message out and get out the truth about Scientology. And we are going to do more of this. We are going to do more fun games as we learn the truth about Scientology. If you guys are here for it, if you think it's fun, I do, so we will do it again. But if you absolutely hate it, let me know. Gina Marie Torino says, yeah, Scientology sucks. Yeah, it kind of does. It kind of does. Let's see. George Massey says, Xenu been bugging me. Nat, can you answer his calls? He's broken that you're ghosting him. Oh, okay. So I think most of you know the deal here. You know what happened, right? Over the summer, I was dating Xenu, and we spent some time together, and we went protesting. But he was just too much. I need my freedom. I need to heal more. And I am only currently interested in handsome men who are completely unavailable, like Devante in Ireland. So it didn't work out, and I had to kick Xenu to the curb because, yeah, I'm just not down with that. Well, you know what I also found out? He's got a wife in Florida. And they got a kid, Cheryl. She did a video about it. And Xenu wasn't even paying child support. So that romance just had to end. He's just not the man for me, not the Xenu for me, not the alien for me. So I don't know what to say. We're not getting back together. I know this is hard for many of you. And I should have never made that relationship public here on YouTube. And for that, I apologize. That's right. Pause for Andrea. Devante in Ireland. Handsome Scientologist. I mean, I think dude is married and has a kid or a girlfriend, whatever, right? Like, I'm not serious, but I just feel like it's especially egregious. And I feel like there should be an extra, like, you know how you can be charged with a crime? Like Scientology should get a higher crime when they hold captive really handsome people. I just think that it should be added. It should be like an added charge. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. Yeah, that's right, Asen. A relationship with two women who are friends is not acceptable. No, Xenu. No. And then to have the baby. And if you don't know, you guys got to follow Feral Cheryl on the loose. She is spilling the tea, and you know I support her. We got all caught up in that Xenu thing with him. I mean, let's be real. An alien galactic overlord. I don't know. It's kind of, it's kind of fun. It's exciting. But no, I've decided I'm not down with that. I'm not down with that. That's right, James Steele. Poor Natalie, back on her own shelf. Hey, this is how I like it, though. This is all my choice. Evil Blue Eye. Yeah, all aliens are cheaters. I'm beginning to see that. I really am. Malta? Is it Malta Murky? Drones equals Xenu? I don't think so. So many theories on the drones. I think like one theory, it's nothing. Everybody's hysterical. There's nothing to see here. Please move along. Second theory, the drones are looking for radioactive material on the East Coast that went missing. Third theory I've heard, the drones are looking at alien orbs that are also appearing. Fourth theory I've heard is that the drones and the orbs are all made by our government to stage a fake alien invasion. Is that 4 or 5? I know there's one more I heard, and I don't remember what it was, but I don't even know. I don't know anymore. There's just so much stuff out about that, but I do know it is not Xenu. Anonymous Lens, justice feels good. Morning, all. Anonymous Lens, were you also a victim of Zero Dark Tony? Shard of Swords, welcome. Swords, that's a tongue twister. Shards of words. Shards of words. Hope everyone is well. Thank you for being here. Vanessa says, I'm hearing that nuclear sniffing theory quite a bit. Seems most plausible to me. Could be. I don't even know. I don't know anymore. There's just so many. I don't know. Will we ever know? I mean, now kind of like the conversation's starting to change over to bird flu. So I don't know. They just keep throwing the ball different places, and we all just like tennis. We just keep looking here, looking there, looking here, looking there. What's really happening? I don't know. Purple Groovy 69. Do you get child support for your body things? No, I do not. Should though. Why didn't I think of that when we were working out our settlement? I should have thought of that. No? Good. Hey, Anonymous Lens dropped a video. I'd already finished my lineup, but then I saw it. Check it out. I am totally going blank on what it was about. It is about Scientology, but I remember looking at it going, dang, I just locked in my lineup. I wish I would have grabbed it earlier, but that's over on Anonymous Lens. Go check that out. Asen said, so he's a deadbeat. Not surprising. Yeah. Galactic Overlord, you would think, right? Like, I don't know, would maybe have his act better together. Buckled Up Buttercup says the drones is Santa and his reindeer practicing. Okay, theory number 5. And I feel like that is one I can get behind. Absolutely. Thank you, Shard of Words. Love you too. I appreciate that. Mock says those poor body Thetans. They're fine. They're like basking in that gorgeous light from Jen there. They're liking it. It's all, I follow a lot of affinity and love to them. So they're all doing good. They're doing good. All right, you guys, hit like, hit subscribe, set that notification bell to all, because you never know when I might jump in and do a random live stream. You just never know. It's really cold. I wanted to go make a winter fire outside again today, but it was like 9 degrees this morning. I'm like, yeah, that's not happening. I've got some Christmas presents to wrap and some work to do. And the work is like, I'm kind of wanting to push it off till Sunday because I could use a little bit of downtime as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I hope all of you have a fabulous time. If you see something, say something. Scientology, Culty related, email me, Natalie at lifeafteraccult.com. Send me a timestamp. Tell me what I'm looking at. All of the good things. Do that. I will talk to you guys later. Everybody get out and have an amazing cult-free day.